Right, should we talk about the weather?
Yeah, because it's just been awful, isn't it?
Yep, it's March the 1st and time is getting on towards sowing time and we just can't get out on the allotment like most people
It
in
feels
Britain,
like it's rained every single day for the whole of February.
It's getting depressing, isn't it?
I think we've had like 3 storms.
Yeah, that's
February.
right. We need like 1 or 2 weeks of no rain.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to dry out.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Because it's just waterlogged, isn't it? Everything's wet and you can't, we need to do digging, we need to move the shed over and we just can't do that.
Yeah, but it does give us more time to do things like this, podcast.
It does
really?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And today we will be introducing ourselves, talking about what we do and also delving into what makes you a gardener. Hello and welcome to our very first podcast. I'm Katie.
And I'm David, or Dave, or Katie's dad.
Yeah, that's what people know you on the videos, isn't it?
They do, yeah. I've always had a problem with my name. Dave just sounds, I don't know.
Everyone's called Dave.
A bit common, isn't it? David sounds a little bit too posh.
Yeah.
And the problem is now you've got Gogglebox. There's a Rottweiler on there called Dave. There. And there's a channel called Dave, so I don't mind though. Sometimes I use Dave, sometimes I use David. Anyway, I'm getting carried away, yeah?
Some of you might know us as Lavender and Leeks, but for those who don't know us, we just wanted to have a little bit of an introduction just to share with you who we are and a little bit of background, really.
Yeah, well, we both got allotments, haven't we, really? And
yes.
Both interested in gardening. I've had my allotment for what, about 8 years, was it?
I think 8, yeah.
Yeah, and you're a little bit behind, aren't you?
Yeah, I've had mine for about 6 years.
Yeah, which is over the other side, because we're both on the same site,
aren't we? Yeah, exactly
the
same site, but we're sort of like opposite ends.
Yeah, you're on the sunny side.
Yeah,
and
you're
I'm on the
dark
slightly
side.
shaded side, which is quite good. It's not so good in the winter, but it's good in the summer.
I think it's good because my plot got the sun all day long and things would bolt really, really easily.
Yeah, but you could put things in slightly earlier than me. Not to say that I don't get the sun, it's just a little bit more shade because there's quite a big fence. Anyway, yeah, we've both been allotmenteers, if that's a word, is it? I don't know.
I think so.
For some time.
Different size plots, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yours was bigger.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to take on another one right next door, so I did that, which is good, but it's a lot of work, as most of you know.
Yeah, I remember when you first got your plot.
Yeah, I tended to try and sort of do a feed the family type plot, sort of dig for victory.
Yeah, you were more traditional.
Well, I like straight lines. I mean, it makes things easy, and I like things all nice and tidy. Well, sometimes.
I would call it like a proper old-fashioned allotment.
Well, that's because I'm a bit older than you, isn't it? Really, you know, I was sort of brought up that way with gardening. My dad liked to garden, and my granddad he lived in one of these older houses which had a really long back garden, and for all the time I knew him, I mean, I think it was just one big vegetable plot. And he did work really hard on that.
That's nice, though.
It was nice, yeah. I used to like going around there. But
don't talk too much about it. We'll talk about that later.
No, true.
Talk about that later.
Yeah, all right. I'm getting carried away. But it's our first one, so...
yours is more traditional, but I think mine is, I don't know, a bit more quirky? A bit more laid back, I don't know.
Decorative as well. You've got a lot of flowers, pond.
Yeah, but I did grow proper things.
Yeah.
Not just for decoration.
Oh, yeah. You had like an area of veggies.
There was just like a wildlife pond and special little areas, and it was just a bit more girly, I think.
Yeah.
This year, everything's changing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've just didn't have to. We haven't had time for the last 2 years, have we? Really?
No.
Because our business has really sort of taken off, and we do the garden shows.
Yes.
Which we're on the go from late April to September.
Which is basically the gardening season, isn't it?
Yeah. So although we do get started, get a few things in, we haven't got the time to look after them.
No.
So it just all goes.
And it's always rushed, isn't it? Like we don't have any time to just go up the allotment and enjoy it, which is what I really missed.
Yeah. So we're joining forces on my plot, and hopefully between us we can manage it a little bit better.
Well, Well, it's going to be 2 pairs of hands.
2 pairs of hands.
That's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
2 pairs of hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can share the watering, share the weeding, share all
Yeah.
the jobs, can't we? It just makes sense,
That's
I think.
right. Yeah.
I'm going to have to move my shed over, of course, because I can't leave my shed on my old plot.
No, we'll have 2 sheds on the plot,
know.
on the one plot.
Yeah,
One's going to be a nice traditional shed, mine, and yours is going to be a purple.
Yeah, well, mine's more important because I make
Shed.
the cup of teas in mine.
Oh, yeah, you've got the cooker and all that, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got the tea making facilities.
yeah,
They're very, very
yeah.
important.
Yeah. So what? Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say then.
What made you get into gardening then?
That's not what we were going to talk about next.
Oh, right.
We're still going to talk about the business, aren't we? We haven't really talked about that.
No.
Which is obviously called Lavender and Leeks.
Yeah.
Because, well, it actually started off as a blog called Lavender and Leeks because that's what I first grew, Lavender and Leeks.
Yeah, but we used to sell in antiques for interiors, didn't we?
Yeah.
Trunks and things like that.
Yeah, ladders and lamps. And
Yeah. We used to do that. And you started your blog off.
Yeah, and because I was taking pictures then of the allotment and there were certain things on my allotment that people wanted to know where I purchased them from, we just thought, we'll start selling gardenalia, if that's a word.
Gardenalia. Yeah, well, it is a word because we just sort of made it up, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't made it up. Somebody else made it up, but we took it on and we've got it on our sign, don't we, when we do the garden show. But yeah, we decided because of our interest in gardening to just sort of
to focus on that bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's gone really well, I think.
Yeah. Then we decided to do the garden shows. I don't know how we got into.
So about 4 years ago, did we start doing them?
Yeah, we had a very small stall when we first started.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Oh yeah, I can't believe how we did it.
3 meters by 3 meters, but now we're up to 6 by 6.
Yeah, and we go to RHS shows as well.
Yeah, some shows we have
exciting.
larger than that, don't we? But the trouble is, you know, the larger you go, the more expensive it gets.
Very, very expensive.
So,
we won't say how
plus-
much, but
No, yeah. Plus you need a lot of stock. So on top of the expense for the pitch, you need to take a couple of vans and trailers and things like that.
because it's vintage stuff, it's harder to get hold of because we actually have to go out and source it all ourselves. We can't, some people we can ring up and get some stuff, but most of the time, we're going around antique markets getting it all ourselves. So it's a lot of early mornings sometimes.
Yeah. And I make metalwork.
Oh yeah, you do.
Forgot about that, didn't we?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, me and my son, your brother, Greg.
He's got in on it now, hasn't he?
We tend to make decorative metalwork for the garden.
Yeah.
Poppy seed
It's
heads.
been really popular.
And things like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
because we sell them online as well, and I think the metalwork sells throughout the year, doesn't it?
It does,
online.
yeah. It's quite surprising, really.
Yeah.
I think people might see it at the garden shows and think, that'd be a nice Christmas present for so and so.
And I think it's quite nice because you actually make it. It's not people like that. People like knowing where it came from.
All handmade.
Yeah, handmade in Hampshire.
Not Hungary or anything like that.
Not China.
It's in Hampshire, where we come from. Hampshire.
So I think is that enough from our business?
Well, probably, yeah.
I
for
think
now.
we've covered it all, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I know the business wouldn't be what it is today if we didn't get our allotments. Right, on to topic 2, and we wanted to just sort of delve into the whole what makes you a gardener. Like, is it in your blood, where you brought up with it? Is it just something that you stumbled across? Because I know for me, the only reason why I got into gardening was because you got your allotment.
That's the general way it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
People get into gardening through their parents,
I think
grandparents.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, my sort of grandparents used to garden. I think they did in that time, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just that.
I don't know if vegetables were more expensive then and it was cheaper to grow your own or what, but people seem to grow their own.
It must have been because of that whole dig for victory
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I suppose it might have been left over from the war times and all that, and people just carried it on. They did it as a hobby or I don't know.
It's not like that at all now, is it? It is just a hobby now, isn't it?
Well, I think it is because you can get veg so cheap in the supermarkets.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can buy a
bag of carrots for like 50p or something, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't taste the same.
They don't taste the same.
No,
they don't.
No, they don't. And there's a sense of achievement if you grow it yourself. But no, I suppose you got in it through me, didn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't
Yeah.
even think about gardening before you got your allotment.
No. I did try it years ago when we sort of first moved in. Well, it was about 20 something years ago, and I didn't really have time then, and I didn't really go for it.
No.
Because it was quite difficult, and the soil in the back garden's not that good. And I just went straight in, dug it over, planted some things, didn't grow.
How old were you then?
So I gave it up.
How old?
How old? Oh, when we first got the house 20 years ago, I must have been about 25.
20 years ago.
No, I don't know. It's going to about 40 on it.
Oh, okay. That's
right, isn't it? Yeah.
That's still.
I'm 61.
Yeah.
I've given my age away now.
I was just thinking because when you're
I
young,
do look younger though.
when you're younger,
Yeah.
like I don't think you think about gardening, do you? Because you're not
You're right
you're not
there.
taught about it at school.
No.
It's not like a cool thing to do, is it?
No, I don't think you're into it when you're a lot younger.
Yeah.
Because it's not an instant thing, is it?
No.
You can't go out and sow some seeds, which is the fun bit, and then go back the next day and expect to see a
You've got to be
seedling.
very patient.
After about a week or two, when they do pop up, they're sort of bored, aren't they?
Yeah.
Kids.
I think like you were saying, if your parents were into it or your grandparents were into it,
Yeah.
and you were brought up like that,
Yeah.
but in a way that's in your blood then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like your side of the family.
Yeah. I can always remember, as I said, going around my granddad's or grandparents and seeing the garden there. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I always used to like. He used to have a corrugated tin garage,
Aww.
and in the winter I used to hang the onions up in there.
Aww.
And I used to always like going in there and smelling the onions. No, just smell what with the hot tin and the grease
Like
in
a
the
man
onions.
shed.
Yeah, it was weird.
Onions and grease.
I can always remember that. I mean, that didn't sort of get me gardening, but it must have helped. It's all in the subconscious, I suppose, isn't it? Really?
And did your mum then and your nan used to make like wines and jams?
My
and
nan used to
things?
make everything. Yeah, she was like an old time chef. I think she worked for a doctor before she married my granddad, and as a cook. So she knew everything, could make anything out of a pig's head sort of thing.
So what, he grew stuff and then she made the stuff from it?
Yeah.
Oh,
She was a really
that.
good cook. Again, I used to like popping around there for my dinners sometimes. When my mum wasn't home, I used to go around my nan's.
Proper dinners.
Anything for dinner, Nan? Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
And I remember looking into the family history on your side, and I don't know how far back it was, but they were all like agricultural workers, weren't they?
Yeah. What do they call them then? Not groundsmen, was
It
it?
just came up as agricultural
Oh, did it?
workers on the thing, yeah.
But there was a lot of them, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Did they have,
like 13 kids.
Yeah. Yeah, but
That's
they
really
lived out,
interesting.
because we're down in Hampshire near Southampton, they all lived out towards the forest way, wasn't it? It's like just on the edge of the New Forest. So
they're out in the open.
Yeah, out in the sticks.
Yeah, out in the sticks. That's
So
it.
I don't quite know. I suppose they moved into Romsey, didn't they? And then we moved out here, really.
Because saying that your side of the family very, very into gardening, but then mum on the other hand,
not into gardening at all.
not at all.
Which is a shame because it'd be nice to have a hand help in the garden.
Hand.
Yeah. Because obviously there's not just the allotment to do, is there? There's the garden at home.
Yeah, you've got that garden, the front garden.
And we've got the greenhouse at home as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to look after.
But yeah, she just doesn't see the point in gardening.
No.
And I think Nan, then her mum, was exactly the same. So for her...
On your mum's side, yeah.
on the mum's side.
Yeah,
so for her, not growing up in it and it not being there, like in her blood, she hasn't got the gardening bug.
Yeah, and I think I like to see. I'm more about seeing the end product with whatever I do. I don't know if you'd call that like creativity or what. I'd like to do anything really, and see the end product, which I'm sort of proud, or could be proud of.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
Job satisfaction and things like that. So it doesn't matter what I do, but I do like the old gardening. It's not a nice nice around harvest time, isn't it? It's really hard work.
It's hard work now when it's just raining all the time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you might not get much out of it, but what you do get out of it is great.
And it's different every year.
Yeah. Because I put, what do we put in? I put in 12 shallots, just enough for me pickled onions at Christmas.
Yeah,
Not really.
Yeah, and I like to grow like a few red cabbage just so I can pickle it for Boxing Day dinner.
Yeah,
Little things like that.
Yeah, as long as you might put 12 not pickled cabbage, 12 red cabbages in, and only get one out of it.
Yeah,
just enough for a jar full.
Oh yeah,
Same as beetroot.
I had tennis ball size red cabbages one year, didn't I?
Yeah.
But I was really chuffed because I got one jar of
it still worked though,
pickled cabbage. Yeah, I was really happy with it.
Yeah, you do make quite a lot of things, don't you? Like wine, not wines, but
does that run in the family then? That's got to be in your blood, surely.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because you have to really love doing that sort of stuff and really love gardening to keep at it.
Yeah. What did you make from the flower? I can't remember what the flowers are on the tree.
Elderflower?
Elderflower, yeah. Elderflower wine. That's what you make, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
elderflower
really nice.
Champagne.
Champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know,
wine. Bit posher.
I just drink it. But yeah, you're like that as well. So I suppose we're quite similar, aren't we?
Yeah, I think it's got to be in you. I think you can learn to love gardening, but it's a funny one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, as you say, it's just not taught in schools, is it?
No.
Although there are a few schools now who've got their own.
Yeah, I think there's more
allotment.
gardening clubs now, but
do we only hear about that because
we're into it now?
We look on Facebook and things like that. And allotment growers, and they're always, sometimes they sort of talk about it on there, don't they?
I think there should be more at school about having a career in horticulture.
Oh yeah, that's another
because
thing.
I think when I left school, I didn't have a clue what to do. No. But now looking back, I always think
you would have loved to done that, wouldn't you?
If
RHS course or something
they
like
pushed that at school or showed me that at school,
you can still do that.
I know you can still do it, but I'm just saying there's not enough done in schools to show that, is there?
No. Well, I think if you said to your teacher, "Oh, I want to be a gardener," you think they would probably think, "No,
but not many teenagers say that, do they?"
But now it is getting a little bit cooler to be a gardener because you get some young garden designers, and people like that, don't you? So, but again, is that only because we're actually in the gardening business that we know about that? Because we do the shows, and they're all there, aren't they?
All the time, aren't
they
we?
come around and chat, and we think, they're quite good.
Very interesting. We'll have to talk about that in another episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to email us with how you got your allotment, why you got your allotment, or why you garden, you can email us at thepod@lavenderandleeks.co.uk.
And it doesn't just have to be about gardening. It can be about anything. If you want to know anything, or about us, or
if you want to give us a bit of feedback on our first podcast, that would be
good.
great.
And then we can have something to read out the next time.
Yeah,
can't we really?
But I think that's about it for today.
Yeah, I think we can end it there, can't we?
Yeah. Don't forget to follow us as well.
Oh yeah.
Because we hope to make more, don't we?
Yep.
We've actually got plans for podcast number 2. We want to talk all about rods, perches and poles. Yeah. Don't we?
Yeah. What are they then?
I don't know, but we will find out next week.
I've got a bit of an idea. No, I know.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you all in the next podcast.